welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager. Today is July 29th, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me, my main man, my partner in crime, NBA guru, Elvis Acosta. How you doing today, kid?
I'm doing great, Dylan. Ready for a loaded show for you guys. Dill, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Yeah, we got a loaded show for everyone. We'll talk about NFL training camp, a little injuries going on. We got some baseball plays as well. Big slate on the diamond today. And we finish up the AFC North with the Brownies and the Bengals. But yeah, real quick, Joe Burrow injured his hamstring. Initially, it was a non-contact. So when I saw the video, I thought he was holding it. I didn't want it to be his Achilles because, then he would have been done the whole season. But x-rays came back negative. It's just a strained hamstring. Zach Taylor came out and said he's out for several weeks. Hopefully he'll be ready by week 1 because it's a big game week 1 against the Browns. But, yeah, what'd you think of Joe Burrow and his injury so far?
Dill, I saw the video. Thank God it was non-contact, so you could tell it's just like a severe strain or, something possibly, tore up in there. But, it ain't like it was something forced. So just put him in rehab. Don't rush him back. He might just sit out for the rest of camp and preseason. Should he be ready for week 1? Absolutely. But still, if I'm the Bengals and I'm the front office, if he's still if he's just 85% week 1, I'm not gonna throw him out there week 1 and try to rush him back. I want him at 100% because I know 100% Joe Burrow is a championship contending team. We've seen him lead us to a Super Bowl. So, Dale, I'm not rushing him back. It doesn't look too concerning just because it was a non-contact injury, but some people say the non-contact injuries are worse than the contact injuries, Dale. So, it's a calf strain. It's nothing torn, nothing like that. So, I just say let's get him in rehab. Don't rush him back. If he needs to miss the first week or 2 of the season, by all means, let him miss the first week or 2 of the season. Don't need to rush him back because with a healthy Joe Burrow, your expectation. You're a championship contending team.
I was just upset because then I was like, damn, we have to watch fucking Trevor Siemian. No disrespect, but Trevor Siemian is nowhere near Joe Burrow. And I mean, to push back a little, I agree. I don't think he's going to play in the preseason, but they have tough games week 1 and 2. They're away on the road against the Browns, and then they're home against the Ravens. 2 in-division games where, you kind of need those games, especially early on. So hopefully he does stay healthy and he is out there for week 1. But, yeah, he's definitely shut down the rest of training camp in the preseason. They don't need him to play. They know what Joe Burrow could do. So, yeah, speedy recovery to Joe Burrow. Jalen Ramsey suffered a knee injury. Next day, he had knee surgery. He's expected. Mike McDaniel came out and said he'll be ready to come around maybe mid-December, late December. So, what is it? The first 9-10 weeks, if that. So, they still have a good secondary without Jalen Ramsey. It's just, Jalen Ramsey kind of puts them over the hump a little bit. But big blow for Miami Dolphins. What do you think about Jalen Ramsey's injury?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bad loss, but not a huge loss, just because you do get him back in late season to make that playoff push. So, it's a blessing and a curse. Yeah, you're missing one of the top players on the defensive side of the ball for the first 10 weeks of the season per se. But at least you're getting him back for for the last stretch and possible playoff run. So I think that's good. It sucks. He's getting surgery. He's going to be out. A little more concerning with this injury than Joe Burrow just because he has surgery and it's no ifs, ands, or but. He's not returning to the field till late November, December. Yeah. So if I'm Miami, I'm like, it is what it is, but think positive. At least you're going to have an all-pro type corner coming back for the last stretch of the season, possibly into a playoff run.
Yeah, and hopefully he can return back and go to that level that we know he can play at for the Miami Dolphins. It's just, I guess the concern for Miami fans is, can they hold on without him until week 8, week 9? And I think they do. I think they have a good enough offense. I think they have a good defense to hold them to around December till he gets back. And then lastly, did you hear Sean Payton's comments about the Jets, about Hard Knocks?
The question is, did you hear about the comments?
I heard it. And there was a picture. I love it. And then he retracted everything the next day because he's a little girl. He retracted everything, and there was a picture going around, and it's just Robert Salah buffed up in a polo, and they go, "Yeah, he heard Robert Salah and went and returned and started to apologize." I thought that was funny, but yeah, I heard Sean Payton's comments. Don't worry, we got this game circled now. If he gave us even more of a reason to beat the Broncos when we play them this year. So we heard all the noise. Nathaniel Hackett. And granted, some people are just not meant to be head coaches. That doesn't mean he's a bad coach. Look at the 2 years he was with Aaron Rodgers. He won back-to-back MVPs. He took Blake Bortles to the AFC Championship when he was under Blake Bortles in Jacksonville. So he's a good offensive coordinator. He's just not meant to be a head coach. That's just the reality of what it is. So, yeah, I heard it. He goes, yeah, they always win the offseason. They got hard knocks. We'll see. Don't worry. We'll be ready to play you. And by the way, if I didn't love Aaron Rodgers already, he might be the best teammate ever. I mean, taking this pay cut, it was just a little extra fuck you to the Packers, which I appreciated. And now it's giving us more room to go and sign maybe a Dalvin Cook or someone else. And I already thought the guy was a first-ballot Hall of Famer. He might be the best player ever after this, doing this. I mean, this guy is just the best teammate ever. I love Aaron Rodgers. I thank you, actually. You put me on to how good Aaron Rodgers was, and now he's on my team. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. So what do you think of him taking the pay cut?
Dill, I think it was a great move, unexpected move. To be honest, I didn't think this was possible. Aaron Rodgers kind of has the persona. Rubs off as a diva, this and that. We've seen a lot of these networks kind of bash him for how he portrays himself to the media, always giving empty answers that you just leaves you like, what does he mean by that? So the fact that he was able to work something out with the Jets, freeing up a ton of cap space. He has a lower cap hit than Zach Wilson. Just let that sink in, people. So I think that was great by him after fucking finessing the Packers out of $50 million a season. So good job by Aaron Rodgers, Dill. And I don't think I don't want to put too much gas under your fire, Dill. But guess what? I'm gonna throw you a fucking bone.
Let me get it.
I saw some reports saying not only the Jets might sign Dalvin Cook with the pay cut. They're saying he took the pay cut.
Yep.
For some mid-season acquisitions.
Yep. I know who it is too.
You might have to give up, that young bull, but Dill, if you want to get to the promised land, you're gonna have big risk, high reward.
I love it.
With that being said, it wouldn't shock me the Jets trade deadline for Davante Adams, Dill. They got the cap space. We saw the amount of money he signed with the Raiders. He could fit under the cap, not just this ending season, the following season, Dill. So you might have to give up your young bull, Garrett Wilson. We'll see about that. Maybe just a first-round pick next season. But I do think the Jets will make a push for Davante Adams come trade deadline.
Yeah, I agree. I saw the report as well. Didn't really want to believe too much of it this early on, but, they're good friends. They had a ton of success together. And especially if the Raiders aren't as good as I think they will, they're going to be sellers at the deadline.
No. If the Raiders are exactly who you think they are, they will be sellers. Don't do that. Don't lie to the people saying, the Raiders. Give them your honest opinion about.
I don't think they're going to be good. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be good. I like Jimmy G. Don't get me wrong. I've been an advocate for the Jets to sign Jimmy G on this show. So I like Jimmy G.
The playoffs last year with Jimmy G starting 100%. Games.
100%. By the way, Field Yates just reported 2 minutes ago the Patriots are hosting free agent running back Ezekiel Elliott as a visit today.
What's going on?
Hey, they need some help in the backfield.
Don't get me wrong, we're not as deep as we were last season, but Dill, what Ezekiel? Don't get me wrong. Do I still believe Ezekiel has a couple more touchdowns left in those legs in the goal line? Absolutely, but my man ain't gonna move the needle. He ain't gonna help us win a game. He might, but realistically, That's just, if we didn't offer D Hop a good contract, why the fuck we going after Ezekiel Elliott? At least
My thing is,
D Hop gonna lead to wins. Ezekiel's
yeah.
gonna just lead to what? 2 yards?
I think you need help in the backfield. I mean, it's no surprise. Everyone's after Dalvin Cook, the Jets, Dolphins, and Patriots. And you need help backing up Ramondre Stevenson. God forbid, knock on wood, hopefully he doesn't go down. But if he does, you got a veteran like Zeke to come in and kind of, he's a workhorse. He could fill the load. I'm not saying he's going to rush for 1,000 yards because those days are long gone. But he could provide some stability on the running back position, especially as a veteran presence in the locker room as well. So I don't know. It's just a report. Hopefully
hopefully he's Cap.
Hopefully it's Cap. But yeah, it just came through my phone, so I wanted to let you know as a Patriot fan. But
honestly, if we signed him for like $1.2 million,
you can't be mad at that.
I'll take him. I'll take Zeke for about what? Not even like 80,000 a game.
Yeah, he'd be all right. Yeah. He's already secured his millions off of that contract.
He got millions. He got Jerry.
Yeah, he got Jerry good. Elvis, let's get into these picks. We'll start on the dime. We got a big slate today. Like I said before we went online, I got 5 plays. My first game is until 7:00. So if you have anything before that, why don't you lead us off? What's your first play?
First play of the day, people. Let's go to my chalkiest bet of the day, people. Let's head down to Miami. The Detroit Tigers facing the Miami Marlins, people. I like this Marlins team. We already know Detroit is a fade at this point, especially on the road. I took Miami on the money line deal. To be honest, I'll lean the run line as well, plus 140. But I ain't going to lay the run line with Miami. So I'm taking I'm not going to say guarantee money, but I'm going to go with the money that looks secured. I'm going to go with Miami Marlins minus 158 on the money line. It's at minus 154, people. So it's dropping. Maybe they saw me place the bet. They're like, oh, Elvis, I feed them. So if anything, Miami Marlins minus 154 on the money line. My chalky bet of the day, people. But hey, we're here to make money.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I like Johnny Cueto. I honestly forgot he was playing for the Miami Marlins.
That's one of the main reasons I took it. I was like, why Johnny on the mound?
Yeah, Johnny Cueto.
Right.
And to be honest, plus 132 on the run line isn't a bad price. They won yesterday. I think this is a good series for Miami to, get back in its winning ways, especially at home. They're a wagon at home. Not on the road as much, but at home, I do agree. For my first play, 7-10, we'll go to Flushing, Queens. I'll take my New York Mets. I know it. Let's hold our breath. I'm going to take them on the run line. Got Cookie Carrasco going. I like Patrick Corbin. He's been okay, but he's kind of faded his last few starts. So I got a plus 126, plus 115 I'm seeing right now on the run line. I still like it. We beat the Nationals 2 games in a row now. We won by the run line yesterday. I think this, like I said, with the Marlins series, I think this is a good series for the Mets to kind of get their wheels going. By the way, I hated the trading David Robertson. I don't mind us being sellers, but at least we traded the best closer on the market for guys that aren't even going to reach AAA in the next 2-3 years. So Billy Epler and Buster Olney are laughing on the phone to each other because they hate the Mets. So neither here or there. But yeah, I'm going to take the Mets on the run line for my first play.
Dill, let's head to Philadelphia. Dill, I'm going to take it on the run line. Give me the Philadelphia Phillies on the run line, on the road in Pittsburgh. This Pittsburgh team just been falling off the face of the earth since the start of June, and I expect it to keep going for the whole summer. Give me the Philadelphia. Hey, don't watch out now. Philly's making a push.
Yeah.
Philly's making a push now. A little later than we saw it last year, but they're on their way, Dill. Give me the Phillies on the run line, minus 110.
Yeah, I like it. I almost got there with them the same play. I took the run line yesterday, and Pittsburgh squeaked out a run in the 9th, and they wound up only losing by 1. I think Pittsburgh, they're sellers. They already traded Carlos Santana at the deadline, so this offense is inept. So I could definitely see it. They have the better pitcher, Aaron Nola, on the mound, so I do like that play. Let's go out to Kansas City. We love to fade Jordan Lyles. We call it Jordan Lyles Day. I'll take the Minnesota Twins on the road, minus 120. against Kansas City. I just think they're the much better team. Kansas City has owned Minnesota has owned Kansas City in this rivalry, so Jordan Lyles is not good at all. So give me I got it at -110. Still like it at -120 with Bailey Ober on the mound. So give me the Minnesota Twins on the run line as my second play. What else you got?
Third play of the day, Dill, is head of San Francisco. The Boston Red Sox taking on the San Francisco Giants. Dill, give me the Red Sox with Paxton on the mound. -116. Money line.
I'm looking up their record in the month of July in 2023 because I think they have the best record in the
I know
month.
we do. We have the
Yeah,
best record
15.
since June. June
Fif-
like 10th.
Yeah, 15-5 in the month of July for the Boston Red Sox. So yeah, you guys playing some good baseball, making a push. I do respect it. Who are they playing? Oh, the San Francisco Giants, who have not
Easy
been
money.
playing well. Yeah, so
Easy.
-120. I do like that play.
I caught it at -116.
Well, exactly. Money's coming in. Let's go out to Baltimore. First place, Baltimore Orioles. Let's not get it twisted, though. I'm going to take them on the money line. I got them at -118. Still like it at -120 right now. Tyler Wells against Schmidt. Not really a fan of Schmidt. I know Aaron Judge came back to the lineup yesterday, but they still laid a goose egg. It's going to take some time for this offense to keep going. Give me the better team at home, Baltimore Orioles, -118 as my third play. What do you got?
Echoing everything Dylan just said. Give me the Baltimore Orioles. I caught it at -122. If you got it at -118, shop around, people, because I'm telling you right now, Baltimore at home versus the Aaron Judge-less Yankees. Come on now.
Yeah, fourth play of the day for me. I'm going wow, it's actually went the other way. Give me the Braves on the run line. -1.5. You could get it at plus money right now, +102. I got it at -105. So it's going actually the opposite way. They blew them out yesterday. I think we see another high score. They have the bet. Besides the Texas Rangers, the Braves have the best offense in the league. So I think they'll get to Turan. At home, they're a wagon. Getting plus money with arguably the best team in the MLB, I got to take that. So give me the Braves on the run line, +102 as my fourth play.
I like that, Dill. My last play of the night will be, give me the dog of the day. Give me the Texas Rangers on the money line, +152 in San Diego. I don't understand. I don't understand Darvish is on the mound. San Diego lineup, the potential's through the roof, but realistically, how many runs are they going to put on the board? I don't expect much still, to be honest. So, all respect to you, Darvish, but give me the Rangers +152 on the money line. Dog of the day.
Yeah, yesterday I took the Rangers as my dog at +158, and they actually got smoked, 7-0. Yeah, they're due. I get why Darvish is much better at home. I get why they're the favorite, but +152 with arguably the second best lineup in the league with the Texas Rangers. It's too much value. If you're just betting strictly numbers, you have to take the Rangers. So I get that play. I love it. My last play, I'm going to take the Seattle Mariners on the road with my boy Brandon Wu on the mound. -118 against Arizona Diamondbacks at home. Arizona has kind of slipped away. They're not playing as good. They're not in first place anymore. I think they're in third. So their bats have been sluggish. So and against the Mariners, who have kind of won a few games in a row now, I like the Mariners. Short price with a much better pitcher. Give me the Mariners -118 as my final play. Any more for you on the Diamond Kid? You're muted.
Nah, Dill, that's all. I'm kind of shocked that your boy even had 5 plays. If
yeah,
you
me
want,
too.
By all means, people, tread lightly. If you want to fade me, by all means. I'm okay with you fading the boy. I got a couple 0-5s in my days. It's okay.
Hey, yesterday I went 3-6. Bad day, but overall I've had a few good days. What was yesterday? Friday. Yeah, so I think Tuesday through Thursday was really good. I had a bunch of positive days, and that's gambling. You're gonna have bad days.
People, I've been taking it nice and slow. I only been betting baseball, so my last 7 days I'm 2-1, 2-1. I'm 4-2. The last 2 pods I went 2-1. So if you've been following my bets on the pod, you're plus money. You on it. It's just I'm just not giving a lot of out, but we are positive the last 7 people. So
Hey, That's all that matters. Before we continue and get to our two-a-days with the Browns and Bagels, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around the golf with the boys or an elderberry watching UFC 291 tonight. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. Coincidentally enough, Elvis, episode 291 and UFC 291 on the same day. Coincidence? I think not.
That ain't no quittinky dink, people. That ain't no quittinky dink. I'm telling you now right now.
And it's your boy, Justin Gaethje's fighting tonight for the BMF belt. So, and also, I know you like boxing. You got Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence Jr. going at. So that's probably one of the biggest boxing matches in the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of the best fights. Yeah, you got. I want to say the last 10 years, because my boy McGregor and Floyd did fight. That was a great one.
Wow.
But
what year was that?
That was 2015 or 16, maybe 16.
I'm gonna see Floyd.
It was August 26th.
August 26th. Wow, what a fucking brain. August 26th, 2017.
Yeah.
So 6 years ago. Okay, I could say within the last 7 years.
You could say
5. Yeah. But yeah, should be a banger of a card. But yeah, Elvis, let's get to our two-a-days. We took care of the Ravens. You had your MVP you laid out. Very happy, very surprised, though, I will say, that you had Lamar. I couldn't agree more, though. We're both kind of high on the Steelers having an improved year than last year. Now let's get to the division champs of last year, the Cincinnati Bengals. Right now, to win the Super Bowl, plus 1,000. To win the AFC, plus 500. To win the AFC North is at plus 145. Their win total is at 11.5. At 11.5 plus 118 to go under minus 144. Elvis, before we get to player props, what's your favorite bet for the Cincinnati Bengals?
My favorite bet, Dill. I'm gonna have to. Dill, it kind of pains me to say this. I'm gonna have to go with the under. I'm gonna have to go with the under wins, Dill. That might be my favorite bet, my most confident bet for this team, just because I counted 11 wins. You know, it's a tough division, kind of a hard schedule. And with the question mark of Joey B now, you know, is he going to be 100% week one? Is he going to play week one, Dill? I think I even like the bet even more. Not to root for injuries, Dill, but yeah. I think my favorite play for the Cincinnati Bengals team is under 11.5 wins, just because to go 12-5 in that division in the AFC, you're basically going to tell me the Bengals are the best team in football this upcoming season to win 12 games. And don't get me wrong, I give them a shot to win 12 games, but I like my chances at under and at 11 wins more than I like the over.
Elvis, I don't want to lay minus 144 either, but I actually agree. I thought you were going to go over. I agree. I have to go under. You know, Joe Burrow, last season, he got sacked a lot. That offensive line still worries me. I know they went out and signed Orlando Brown. Great signing, but you're going to need a little more than him to fix their issue. They didn't draft a single offensive lineman. Also, last year, they didn't deal with the injury bug throughout the year. And the Bengals were plus 11 in turnover differential in the final 16 games. I think regression is coming in both turnover and injury categories this season. And lastly, I agree. I'm not a fan of their schedule. I think they have a really tough schedule since he has 5 matchups with rest disadvantages, and they also play the Ravens on a short week on the road. I gotta go under. I'm probably on the low end, but I counted 8-9 wins. That might be a little low, but Elvis, I just don't see it. I'm looking at their schedule right now, especially with the concern of Joey B. I think they split with everyone in the division. I think there's 3 teams in the AFC North going to the playoffs. Now, I think they'll get to the playoffs, But to win 12 games and go 12-5 like they did last season,
Not gonna happen.
not going to happen. Everything has to go right. There's too many good teams in this division. I think they split with the Browns. I think they split with the Ravens. They'll beat the Rams. I think they'll beat Tennessee. I think they beat Seattle, Arizona. That's 4 right there.
Well, that's
I think,
8. That's 8 because you split the division. You count those 4.
Oh, yeah,
8.
that's 8. Well, 4, 5, 7.
7. All right.
7. I think they beat Texans. That's 8. I think they beat the Colts 9. Then they play the Chiefs on the road. They play Jacksonville on the road.
I got them winning one of those games. Either Chiefs or Jacksonville. I don't have both road losses on those.
They play 49ers on the road.
I have that one as a loss.
And then they play a toss-up game, which I don't think is a gimme. The Minnesota Vikings. I don't think that's a gimme. They can win, but
that's why I said I got exactly 11 games. If I'm pretty sure exactly 11 wins, it might be at +5, 550. Just like I've been doing every other team. I always give you an exact win total number. I'm a guess is around 550, 500 plus. Still, I think they get to exactly 11 wins. I agree with you. They will split the division. Would it shock me if they're able to sweep one team? No, just because the Bengals are that good. It wouldn't shock me they're able to sweep one team in the division. But I do expect them to have 2 to 3 losses in the division alone. I feel like the Kansas City game is tough. The 49ers game is tough still. But when you first said 8, that was shocking alone. I don't got that low. I do see 10 or 11. Realistically, I like the 11 number a lot.
The average, they're favored in 13 games this season, and they're underdogs in 2 games. They're underdogs to the 49ers, and they're underdogs to the Chiefs for obvious reasons. The average line that they're favored by is only 3.5 points, which is the average in the NFL.
Well, if they weren't in the AFC North, I guarantee.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But my thing is, they play the Bills, even though it's at home. That's not an easy game.
It's not.
I don't know. I think Joe's kind of seeing what I'm seeing. If Joey B is hurt, they win 4 games. I think that's a little because Trevor Siemian's he has the best job in the world. Backup quarterback, doesn't have to play, making millions. He has the best job. But if he's there, we've seen what he does. He's not a good quarterback. And if he is 100% healthy, I agree. I think I agree. I think I was a little lower, maybe saying 8 or 9, but possibly 10 or 11 games. But I can't see them going 12-5.
The only way they go 12-5 if one the Browns are a disaster, or there's quarterback injuries in somewhere in the division, like for example, knock on wood, Lamar, or Deshaun, or even Kenny Pickett. That's the only way I can see this team exceeding 11.5 wins if they sweep the division. They gotta go at least 6-2 in the division to win 12 games, and I don't see it.
Yeah, and my thing is they lost both of their safeties in free agency, Jesse Bates III, and they lost Von Bell, but they replaced them with the rookie from Alabama. I think his name's Jordan Battle. They replaced him with him. And they got Nick Scott. They signed him for a 1-year deal, $4 million. So their secondary isn't the best, I would argue. I think people are going to be able to put points on Bengals, but the Bengals are going to be putting points on other teams as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think they'll make the playoffs. Their number to make the playoffs is very chalky, so I'm not going to touch that. But I got to go under. I'm sorry. I just don't see the 12 wins. I think regression is coming for this team. Now, for playoffs, player props, right now there aren't any Joe Burrow props because we just don't really have a timeline of when he'll be back. So, like I said, head coach Zach Taylor said they're shutting him down for several weeks. Hopefully he'll be ready in a month for week 1. But, yeah, there's no wide receiver props up. Chase, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, they're off the board as well. So the only thing we could really look at as of right now, maybe we could address it later on in the season. But Joe Mixon, his rushing yards, 825.5. His rushing touchdowns is at 6.5. Out of those two, which one do you like more?
Give me over 825.5 rushing yards. I think this is I want to say the L word deal, but this is pretty damn close. I think the offensive line will be improved slightly from last season. The addition of Brown at the left tackle spot, Joe, is going to make wonders for this offensive line. We saw him exceed this number for the past two previous seasons, Bill, and with the offensive line and getting a little better, with Joe Burrow getting even a little better, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, they're going to have to run coverage on those guys, Dill, or even double some of them. I think Joe Mixon has another 1,000+ yard season. To me, this number should be around 1,000, just because he's that dude. We've seen it year in, year out. Joe Mixon's been one of the most consistent running backs in the last 3-4 seasons. Still, give me Joe Mixon over 825.5. To me, this number is too low.
And to be honest, we've seen him in the offseason take a pay cut to stay and play a little longer and obviously add other pieces to this team. I agree. I'd rather go his over rushing yards than his rushing touchdowns. Just because even in the years where he rushed for over 1,000 yards, he still didn't go over this touchdown prop. So Mixon did miss 3 games last season, and he only went under this number by 11 yards. So he's shown us, if everything could go right and he could stay on the field and play 14 to 17 games, he's 1,000 yard back every season. They picked up Orlando Brown, like I said, on the left side. I think that's going to help. And I know the Bengals wide receiver room is crazy, but elite. I do think they'll run. Yeah, they're elite. I should use that word. But I do think they'll run the ball early on, especially if Joe Burrow isn't 100%. I think he's going to get a lot of touches early on. 825.5 seems a little too low for a back like Mixon, who has been, I wouldn't say top 5, but he's a top 10 running back, I feel like, in his duration of his career. So I agree 100%. I got to go 825.5 yards. It wouldn't surprise me if he got 7 rushing touchdowns, but I think he's more inclined to go over his rushing yards than his rushing touchdowns. But yeah, that's all I really have for the Bengals. Do you have anything else?
I know there's no official numbers on it, people, but when the numbers do come out, when we have some timetable exactly when Joe Burrow will make his return, I expect the lines to come out. Whatever it is, it has to be under 10. So I'm gonna just say 7.5, 8.5. I feel like those numbers are comfortable to smash T. Higgins over. I think this guy is possibly a double-digit touchdown threat. Definitely 9 in the red zone. He's just the number 1 target for Joey B. I understand Jamar Chase is there and Tyler Boyd respectfully, but in the red zone, we all know T. Higgins is his number 1 target. So whatever T. Higgins' touchdown reception is, I'll like that over. And I expect Tyler Boyd's receiving yards to be very low this season just because there's so much firepower offensively, Dill. So I expect Tyler Boyd's over under receiving yards to be somewhere around Odell Beckham's, around like the 580 mark, 560. If it's under 600, I expect Tyler Boyd to exceed 600, even 650. It wouldn't shock me if Tyler Boyd is around 650 to 750 receiving yards this season.
Yeah, we saw that next step of T. Higgins last year and the connection him and Joey B had, especially when they were double covering Jamar. T. Higgins was his number 1 option. So, yeah, I agree there. Just no number right now. But if it's anything lower than 650, 700, I have to smash the over for T. Higgins as well. So, like that, let's go to the Brownies and my surprise team. Super Bowl 28-1. To win the AFC 17-1, to win the AFC North 380. Their win total sitting at 9.5. Over is plus 108, minus 134 on the under to make the playoffs. Yes, plus 104, minus 130 is a no. I'll start it off. Give me the yes to make the playoffs. Give me the over 9.5 and give me the plus 380 to win the division. I gotta take the over. I love the Browns this year. I think people actually forgot how good Deshaun Watson really is. They added my boy Elijah Moore to that wide receiver room now, and they could go deep down the field with him. The Donovan Peoples-Jones. You got Amari Cooper. They have a top 5 offensive line. Nick Chubb is a top 5. Maybe top 3 running back in the league. I think in offense, they're going to put up a lot of points this season. And with a full offseason and prep under Deshaun Watson, I think they're going to flourish under Kevin Stefanski. So on defense, they got better as well on all three levels. They added 2 pass rushers. They got healthy at linebacker, and they have a good secondary. And they also added help in the free safety position. So this team is going to make the playoffs. And like I said, I think there's going to be 3 teams coming out of this AFC North in the playoffs. And I think they can make a run and actually win the division and win a playoff game or 2. So I don't know if they'll reach the AFC championship game, but they don't play any teams this year coming off of a bye. They have a great rest advantage. They don't have a tough schedule. And don't look now, but the Browns to win the AFC North plus 380, over 9.5 wins, and for them to make the playoffs. So give me all the plus money.
Dill, I love everything you just said. I'm kind of shocked by it just because you was talking crazy about the Browns last season, people. Our loyal listeners know how Dylan felt about the Browns, and I kept picking them. And guess what? I kept losing my money last season. So, Dill, I love everything you just said. Dill, let's start with the over. Let me get the over, Dill. 9.5. This is a 10-win team all day, people. I think this Browns team wins 10. Possibly 11, but I'm comfortable to say 10 wins for sure. Let's start to some player props. Still, let me touch the division. I give Cincinnati to win the division at plus 140. Dill, I give the Browns a shot, but I do like the Baltimore Ravens just a little better. I do think the Browns are going to be much better than we saw last season. I do agree with that, Dill, but to win the division, I just feel like this is one of probably the best division in football.
Before we get to player props, I counted it and counted it again because, you're like, okay, I could actually see them losing a game here and there and we go back. I don't see less than 10 wins. I counted 13 initially, and I thought that was too big. And then I came back. I was like, okay, they'll lose. I have no less than 11 wins. I seriously think they'll win the division. I think they sweep Pittsburgh. That's 2. I think they split a game between Cincinnati and Baltimore. That's 4. I think they beat Tennessee. I think they beat the Colts. They beat Seattle. They beat Arizona. I think they beat the Rams. That's 9. I think they beat the Bears. That's 10. I think they beat the Texans. That's 11. I think they beat my Jets late in the season on a Thursday night. I think they could beat the Jets, and I could think they could beat the Broncos. I have like 12, 13 wins. Maybe I'm a little too positive, but maybe 11 wins. But man, I don't know. I think they're the best team right now. I truly believe that on all levels. I just want to get your reaction.
I'm shocked by everything you just said. I'm not going to disagree because I like this Browns team. I know what to expect from Joe Burrow. I know what we're going to see from Lamar Jackson. It's just, are we going to see the 2019-2020 Deshaun Watson? That's the question mark. I'm not saying we need to see an MVP player. All I'm saying is we need to see an MVP caliber. All I'm saying is this man needs to be in the conversation.
100%.
With that being said, give me the wins over 9.5 at plus 104. I think
you got them making the playoffs.
Give me the Browns to make the playoffs. Dylan, I said this months ago. I have 3 teams coming out the AFC North. That's what I'm saying.
This is the best division.
What I'm saying. It's going to be hard for them Jets to make the playoffs. It's going to be hard for them Patriots to make the playoffs, Dylan, when it's 3 teams representing the North. You said it yourself. You said Bengals 10-11 win team.
Ravens
10-11 win team. Browns, you counted 13. So you expect the Jets to win 11 games to make that 7th spot?
The Jets are winning the division. Come on now.
With that being said,
let's go to player props.
Give me the Browns over 9.5. Browns to make the playoffs. Still, first player prop. To me, this number was disrespectful. I'm not going to get as hyped as I was for Odell Beckham, but I'm letting you know right now, people, put money on the table as we speak. We're talking about the massage therapist himself, Deshaun Watson, over 24.5 passing touchdown. Who the hell you think this man is if you're not going to get at least 24.5 pass? This man might go for 30, 35 passing touchdown. You put up respect on my man Deshaun Watson's name. He got Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, David Njoku, Nick Chubb. This might be the best offense he ever had in his career. And this man had D-Hop at one point.
Yeah.
David Johnson in the backfield.
Yeah.
Come on, people. I'm letting you know right now. Be careful with this Brown team. Be careful with Deshaun Watson. Over 24.5 passing touchdowns. I'm letting you know right now, people. That's a lock. That's a lock.
I love it. Deshaun Watson, over 24.5 touchdowns. I took him over 3,625.5 yards. I got to go everything. I think he's going to have a great season. Remind people that he is a top quarterback in the league. Let's throw last season out the window. He only played 6 games, but prior to that, when he was playing every game through 2018 to 2022 or 20, he went over in all those seasons. He threw for 4,000 yards, almost 30 touchdowns those seasons. This is a big season, I'm thinking, for Kevin Stefanski. He's already won Coach of the Year a couple years back. And if he doesn't have a good year and they underachieve with all this talent that you just rattled off, he's going to be in the hot seat. But I think in his second season, Deshaun Watson, he's going to have a more understanding of the playbook, a better chemistry with his receivers and his running back. And give me also MVP Deshaun Watson 25-1. This man is going to light it up. I'm telling you. And he's going to send a check to all those people that wrote him off. Don't worry. He remembered. And trust me, and I love the little video the Browns put out. The accuracy. He threw a 5-yard into the net. You saw that? No. They said that the Browns PR team put out a video on their Twitter, and it was Deshaun Watson throwing the ball into the net. It had to have been a 5-yard ball, but it was the cleanest thing ever.
It was on the money.
It was on the money.
He ain't gonna miss a 5-yard route all season.
Excuse me, but yeah, I mean, I'm high on Deshaun Watson. I'm going to keep it rolling. I got to go over 1,200.5 yards for Nick Chubb. Joey's in the chat talking about him leading the league in rushing yards, and that wouldn't surprise me either. I would take his rushing yards over his rushing touchdowns. It's at 8.5. It's a little chalky, minus 135, but you know, he's rushed for 1,000 yards in 4 straight seasons. He was 4 yards away from 1,000 yards his rookie season. So Nick Chubb is going to rush for 1,000 yards. Like we said, he has a top 5 offensive line. All 5 starters on that offensive line are returning. This line last season, and they had a down year, obviously. I think they went 7-10 last season, and they finished the season with the 3rd best offensive line in the league. And some of those guys were missing time. All 5 starters only played 28.6% of the snaps together last season. Whoa. This year, they're healthy. They're dominant. They're going to push people and get to the second level. I think Nick Chubb is going to have a huge season, maybe 1,500 yards, but 1,200.5 is disrespectful. So I love that over. How about you?
I got let's start with Nick Chubb. Give me Nick Chubb over as well, Dill. Like you said, top 5 offensive line. That's one of the best offensive lines in football. He's going to be the clear-cut on number 1, like always. Nick Chubb's been one of the best running backs since he stepped on the NFL field, Dill, and I expect him to continue that this upcoming season. At 1,200.5, I understand the number. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't call it disrespectful, but I'm going to just say it's a little lower than I anticipated. I do expect Nick Chubb to go over this rushing prop, probably 100 by 200 yards, people. Nick Chubb is just an absolute dog. He will have at least a game or two where damn near 160, 170 rushing yards. He's just that boy. So give me Nick Chubb over 1,200.5 rushing yards. And then my last favorite prop, honestly, one of my favorite props in this one, Dill. Give me Amari Cooper over 925.5 receiving yards. I understand it's not a fan favorite, Dill, but we know Amari Cooper, he'll give you a handful of those games when he only catches like 2 or 3 balls for about like 40 to 60 yards. I understand that. But there's also going to be a handful of games when Amari catches a touchdown or 2 with about 150, 140 of them things. So I think 925 is too short, especially when you have Deshaun Watson for his full season. You saw him, that connection started building the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. I expect that connection to be even better this season, Dill. Give me Amari Cooper over 925.5. I expect this man to exceed over 1,000 yards.
I couldn't agree more. Same thing with Amari. I got to go over his receiving prop rather than his touchdown. His touchdown's at 6.5. I can see him going over it, but I do like over 925.5 more. I feel like the number is a little low considering the fact that we'll have Watson for knock on wood. We'll have Watson for all 17 games this season, and if he could stay on the field, there's no way he doesn't get 1,000 yards receiving. Even with the addition of Elijah Moore, it's just going to take more eyes away off of Cooper. His route running, we've talked about it through the duration of this show. His route running is one of the most crisp and best route runners in the league. And I think one-on-one, it doesn't bode well for DBs or safeties. I think Cooper will get the advantage one-on-one. He had 1,160 receiving yards last year with Jacoby Brissett. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Jacoby Brissett, but Deshaun Watson is a million times better than Jacoby Brissett. So I think we'll see a huge bump in his numbers with Watson playing this season. So I got to go over 925.5 receiving yards, minus 112. I think those are great odds as well. I want to get your opinion. I know you don't have a play, but I kind of like it. Plus 600 Myles Garrett to be the sack leader. He had 16 sacks in back-to-back years in 2021 and 2022, and he missed a game last season. He hasn't had less than 10 sacks since his rookie season in 2017. 2018, he had 13.5. 2019, he had 10. 2020, he had 12. In back-to-back years where he had 16. He has 74.5 sacks in his 6-year career. At plus 600, I mean, this guy's going to get after the quarterback. I'll sprinkle a little on that as well.
Dill, I'll sprinkle something on it as well, Dill. But, I think it's a competition. It's going to be up there. You got TJ. You got Marcus Parsons. Don't get me wrong. I like those guys maybe a little more just because the addition. Dill, let's not bury this. The addition of Zadarius Smith.
I was just going to say that. The
addition of Zadarius Smith on the other side is going to be – I'm not saying he's going to take sacks away from Myles Garrett, but I feel like both of those could be double digits, or at least somewhere near that. So I feel with Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith, I see them combined for over 20. I don't know. Could Myles lead the league? And yes, he can. But I do like TJ Watt's and Michael Parsons' chances just a little better, just because we know those are uncut the best defensive linemen on the team. So Darius Smith, he's up there. He's not better than Myles Garrett, but there's gonna be times where they might send a double team to the Darius side.
Of course,
it's I guarantee both of them are gonna get hit with double teams, but sometimes you're gonna have to choose one, and they might end up choosing Myles Garrett more than Darius,
which they should. Like you mentioned, those are the I'll mention the odds. Myles Garrett plus 600, he's the leader. Micah Parsons plus 750, TJ Watt plus 750, and don't forget Nick Bosa plus 750 as well. He's the leader.
The question about Nick Bosa is not his ability; it's just will he stay on the field for 17 games.
I agree.
Also, with Nick, Nick has the ability as well. Joey and Nick. It's just. They both.
No, but Nick, I think we could both agree Nick is a little better than Joey.
Yeah. But when Joey, no disrespect to either brother. I do both of them are elite. But I just feel like if either or could stay healthy, I think both of them have a shot to lead the league.
And I think a sleeper, and we'll talk about him in a few days, but Max Crosby, 20-1 sack leader.
I don't know. I don't know. If anything, Dill.
It's the team. It's the team.
It's a sprinkle on it. Yeah. It's a sprinkle. But like I said, my favorites will be TJ, Michael Parsons, and then Myles Garrett.
I'm looking at their front four now. Yeah.
And Dill, I know this one is gonna be out there. You tell me the odds because I haven't looked at it, but I'm saving it for this day. My boy Thibodeau from the Giants, I think he's gonna have an amazing year. Dill, I'm calling it right now. He will be in Defensive Player of the Year's talk. Thibodeau from the New York Jets. I'm letting you know right now. I mean, New York Giants. Yeah. I'm letting you know right now, people. I'm giving to y'all early. Put a sprinkle on him. Put a sprinkle on him to lead the NFL in sacks. That's my sprinkle. Instead of Crosby, him.
I got to get the odds because he is down there. But
He's down there. He's down there.
So Kayvon Thibodeau to win Defensive Player of the Year is plus 5,000. He's 50-1.
I'm telling you, people,
there's
right
value
now,
there. He's going to have a good
sprinkle.
season. I just think we'll get to him. I just think the Giants are going to regress this season. So
I understand, Dill, but if this man has 15, 16 sacks and the Giants, I know, cuz I don't understand high, but it's doable.
I'm just looking at the Cleveland Browns front four. Myles Garrett on one side. You mentioned Zadarius Smith. They added Dalvin Thompson in the inside edge. They signed him for $14.3 million a year. And then they have James Elliott on the other side next to Garrett. Yo, they're going to get to the quarterback. I don't care if they have a good offensive line. Like the Bengals in week 1, right now the Bengals are only a 2-point favorite on the road. Give me the Browns week 1, especially since Joe Burrow is going to be running for his life.
Yo, another thing.
I'm getting amped. My fault.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Another thing with the Browns, still. When Deshaun is back on that offense and Amari, Nick Chubb, I want people to understand how dangerous that offense is going to be. Just because I expect the defense to dominate, I expect the offense to be much better with Deshaun this season. I expect the defense to be better, but I expect the offense to be better, people. So I love the fact that Dylan's very high on the Browns because I'm high on the Browns too. Maybe not as high as him, Dill, but I'm telling you right now, people, that defense is something. And then let's forget, they might have one of the best corners in football. He's not the best, but to me, he should be in the top 5. Denzel Ward. Well, he's a safety, but Denzel Ward is nothing to sniff at either, people. So they got the front, and then they got the Denzel Ward in the back end as well.
No. Denzel Ward is a corner. I don't know. He's a top 10 corner. I'll give him that. But I wouldn't say top 5. There are a lot of good corners in the league.
I'll give him top 8.
Yeah, top 8. But honestly, the defense is good, but I really think they're going to put up 20, 30 points a game. Like, I truly believe this offense is going to flourish this season, and I think everyone's going to Deshaun's going to remind everyone he is if not the best, one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
He's a top 5 quarterback.
Y'all must have forgot. So yeah, I'm super high on them. They're my sleeper of the league this year. So I can't wait for them. And I already put it in. I took the Browns on the money line week 1 at home against the Bengals. So fading them early. Joe mentioned in the chat the women's World Cup going on in New Zealand. Have you watched any of it? I know the time difference is a little wacky, but
yesterday I watched a little bit of USA and Netherlands. Just a little bit.
1-1 tie. We're young. We don't look good, to be honest.
We always expect the USA women's team to be, at least to achieve more than the men's team. Oh, yeah. It's just it doesn't feel that way. Every year it feels like, we have a chance to win it. This year it doesn't feel that way. I don't know why.
A lot of the women retired. Megan Rapinoe, all these women, they retired. So we have a lot of young women on the team, and they're not as aggressive and I would say as talented as years past. But big game on Tuesday. We got Portugal. Hopefully we could win. It's a big game. We need to win. If we don't get out of the group stage,
no, we got to get out the group stage. So it's just can we make it to the cup? Like Joey said, it's USA's cup to lose.
Yeah, we've won it the last 3 World Cups. We're trying to make it 4. So
it's just this might be the toughest one yet.
Yeah, I agree. So hopefully our women could bring home another trophy for everyone. But Elvis, any plans this weekend? No birthdays?
This guy. No. Just might go to the lake tomorrow. We'll see. Ooh. It's been so steamy up here in the Northeast. For all the people out in Jersey, New York area, even PA, like Philly, Connecticut. Yo, it's been fucking beaming up here. So your boy deserves a few days in the pool,
Yes,
all
sir.
Next week we're gonna be in the 80s. I'm loving it.
Yeah, 80 I think is the perfect. When it gets to 90 with the humidity,
85 sometimes is cool, but anywhere from like 75 to 85.
Money. But Elvis, thank you so much. That's going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys in a few days. So please follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You guys can find our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We're also on YouTube every Monday and Saturday, youtube.com/the Dream Wager. So subscribe, rate, give us a review. It literally takes 5 seconds. It helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great weekend. Good luck on your wagers, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.